What if I told you that Pontius Pilate deeply regretted his role in the crucifixion of Jesus long after the event? Would that surprise you? And what if I told you there exists a letter in which Pilate himself wrote to Emperor Tiberius, detailing Jesus' miracles, his trial, his execution, and most astonishingly, his resurrection? Yes, you heard that right. A document attributed to Pilate provides a striking account of Jesus, including details about his physical appearance, details that aren't even recorded in the Gospels. What exactly did Pilate say about Jesus? And what was his reaction to the resurrection of the Son of God? In this episode, we're going to examine this extraordinary letter and uncover what it reveals about Jesus Christ. But before we dive into this fascinating historical account, make sure to subscribe to this channel and turn on notifications so you don't miss any of our deep explorations into biblical history. Now, let's get into it. Pontius Pilate's letter to Emperor Tiberius. Here's a remarkable excerpt from the letter Pontius Pilate reportedly wrote to the Roman Emperor Tiberius about Jesus. A man of great virtue has arisen in our time, a man called Jesus Christ. He still lives among us and is regarded by the Gentiles as a prophet of truth, but his followers call him the Son of God. He has raised the dead and healed all kinds of diseases. He is a man of noble stature, somewhat tall, and has a face that inspires both love and awe. His hair is the color of ripe chestnut, falling straight to his ears, and from there it flows down in waves to his shoulders. A part runs through the middle of his head, styled after the Nazarites. His forehead is smooth, his complexion fair, and his face is graced with a touch of red. His nose and mouth are perfectly shaped, and his beard, though not long, is thick and slightly forked, matching the color of his hair. His eyes are gray, bright, and piercing, capable of rebuking yet full of compassion. He is dignified in conversation, never known to laugh, yet often seen weeping. His hands and arms are beautiful, his manner wise, humble, and noble. Truly, his beauty surpasses that of any mortal man. This is an incredibly detailed physical description of Jesus, one that is not recorded in the Bible. But why did Pilate go to such great lengths to describe Jesus' appearance? The answer is simple. In ancient times, there were no photographs or paintings to preserve a person's likeness. Written descriptions were the only way to ensure that people could recognize someone of great importance. As we continue reading this letter, Pilate further explains how he became involved in the trial and crucifixion of Jesus. The chief priests, consumed by jealousy, conspired against this righteous man. They dragged him before me, presenting an informer who betrayed him. I questioned him regarding their accusations, and he answered with wisdom and humility. Though modest in speech, his words carried an undeniable authority. I asked him about his beliefs, and he replied, "O Caesar, I am a king, but my kingdom is not of this world." When I inquired if he was a god, he answered, "You say so, for I am the truth and the life. I am the good shepherd, the door." Imagine being in Pilate's place at that moment. He was in the presence of a man who performed miracles, spoke profound truths, and even claimed a divine identity. It's no wonder Pilate found himself struggling with what to do next. The day of the crucifixion. Pilate continues. As the accusations against Jesus intensified, the uproar of the Jews became deafening. Though I found no fault in him, I succumbed to their demands. I ordered his crucifixion according to their law. The moment he was nailed to the cross, darkness covered the whole land. At midday, the sun vanished, the stars shone brightly, and the moon seemed as if it had turned to blood. The entire world was thrown into darkness. Then the dead arose from their graves and walked among the living. At that moment, I felt a terrible dread consume me, and I could not bear the weight of what I had done. The blood of this just man was upon my hands. Pilate's account of the supernatural events surrounding Jesus' crucifixion aligns with what the Gospels tell us. The sky darkened in the middle of the day, an earthquake shook the land, and the dead rose from their graves. These were signs that something far greater had taken place, something beyond human comprehension. But the most shocking revelation was yet to come. Pilate's growing fear and the rumors of resurrection. Pilate's letter goes on to describe the turmoil in Jerusalem following Jesus' death. He states, "The unrest in my province continued to grow. Among the many rumors reaching my ears, one in particular captured my attention. It was said that this same Jesus, whom I had sentenced to die, had been seen alive again. People whispered that he had risen from the dead, and that his followers were spreading his teachings even more fervently than before. The city was in turmoil, and I feared that another great uprising was upon us. I even considered writing to you, Caesar, for more troops, as I felt the control of this province slipping from my grasp." Imagine what Pilate must have felt. He had condemned Jesus to death to avoid political unrest, yet instead of silencing his message, the crucifixion had seemingly magnified it. Reports of the resurrection spread quickly, and soon the same people who had called for Jesus' death were now confronted with claims that he had returned to life. Pilate's letter suggests he was not only overwhelmed by the events of Jesus' trial, but also shaken by the mysterious occurrences following his crucifixion. Could it be that Pilate, despite condemning Jesus, started to wonder if he had truly put an innocent man to death? The Pilate stone, the archaeological proof of Pilate's existence. Skeptics have often questioned whether Pilate even existed, claiming his presence in history was a fabrication. However, an archaeological find known as the Pilate stone confirms his role as the Roman governor of Judea. Discovered in 1961 at the ruins of Caesarea Maritima, the Pilate stone is a limestone block inscribed with an official dedication to Emperor Tiberius. It reads, "To the divine Augusti, emperors, this Tiberium, Pontius Pilate, prefect of Judea, has dedicated." This is the only known physical archaeological evidence that directly mentions Pilate's name, confirming that he was indeed the governor of Judea during the time of Jesus. If Pilate was real, then his letter to Tiberius about Jesus gains even more credibility, a testimony that echoes through time. When we look at both Pilate's letter and the Pilate stone, we see undeniable evidence that not only did Pontius Pilate exist, but so did Jesus. We also see a powerful testimony, one of a man who, despite his authority, found himself caught between political pressure and his own uncertainty about Jesus' true identity. Was Jesus truly the Son of God? Did he rise from the dead? Pilate's words suggest that he grappled with these very questions long after the trial and crucifixion had ended. What do you think? Could it be that even Pilate had doubts about the judgment he passed on Jesus? Let me know in the comments below. And before you go, don't forget to subscribe to my channel for more eye-opening discussions about history, faith, and mysteries of the past. Thanks for watching, and God bless you.